Hi, my little darlings. This is Grandma Judy. I want to hop in a second. I just got through listening to a talk show that said that the government needs to pull off all welfare because that's what's making people lazy and they don't want to work, and that's what's driving the men out the homes. Well, we've heard that over and over again. So I decided I'd pop in and just discuss it with you, and I'd like you to put your feelings down. How not to be poor. Do you see I have all these books up here? That's one way not to be poor. Read. Read things that will help you and make you a better person. Do not have babies when you're not married. If you have daughters and sons, start from their little bitty people, telling them about the responsibilities of being a mother and a father. Let them sit with you when you're making the budget. Let them see how much Pampers costs, how much child care costs. Let them see how much the grocery bill, even when they're little. I did that to my daughter. Let them know that your job is how you get the money to feed them, and that their job is school. They're supposed to do the best, and their paycheck is their grades. They're not going to school to argue with the teacher, because tell them, if mom doesn't do her job, we will have to beg the government to take care of us, and we don't want that. For you people who are on the dole, I'm not trying to talk about you. I'm trying to get the people who are not on the dole to go to the library, study all you want. I hear a lot of kids say, we don't have nothing to do but stand on the corner. I know you can get on a bus and go to a local library, find out what interests you, and become an expert at that. Write papers about it. Give lectures about it. You can do that. Because standing holding up the buildings that you don't even own is not going to support you. Another thing, like I say, put off having kids. My father sat down and he talked to me and he says, Judy, I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm a man. None of us are no good. Excuse me, man, but my father told me that most men, a hard blank has no conscience. That most men, they're a heat-seeking missile. And that they will tell you anything to get what they want. And you women know that. And there's some women who you want that. Some of you want them to drop babies so they can pay child support out of the minimum wage job. Ladies, what are you going to get out of that? You know, you do better if you get married. Even both of you have to have minimum wage jobs. If it's $8 an hour, the two of you, that's $16 and something an hour. The most I ever made in my life was $17.58 an hour. And I was able to travel the entire world, help other people, live in a great area. But I left the babies in baby heaven. Did I get abortions? No. I don't think abortion is birth control. You get your birth control on 100. Something else, when you marry these guys, just remember, put off the babies for 2 years. Because if you don't, you're going to have a crazy guy that's going to have to come and get your kids. And to you men, I'm not a man, but I would tell you, wrap it up. You don't want to, if you got good seed, you're not dropping your seed in any old black soil. You're just not. You're going to have responsibility. You're going to have responsibility. Something else I would tell you to keep from being poor is do not get a felony. You know, just try to stay out the system. Because they will use that against you not to hire you. Talk to your children. They're a little crazy from probably age 2 to about 18 or 19, maybe 20. It's where the adults come in and try to save your kids. You mothers should know if there's guns in the house. My mother would go through everything. It was not nothing I could have in my house that my mother didn't go through my drawers and through my stuff when I was at school. And she told me she was doing it. If anything was in my house that I brought in, my mother would throw it away or ask me where did I get it from. I remember one time I took a candy bar from the grocery store. My mother took me back to that grocery store and made me pay for that candy bar out of my little savings. I felt so embarrassed. But that was a good lesson at the age of 7 because they put the candy down low. So, you kids, you think, oh, there's a Clark bar. You just gone on, you put it in your pocket and you eat it. And when I came home, my mother saw I was eating because you're stupid. You don't know to just put it away. She said, where'd you get the money for the candy? And of course, you can't lie. Your mother can see right through you. One thing I can say, she didn't whip me. The whipping was just the fact of having to go to a grocer who had been so nice to me all my life and used to give me stuff free. And one thing I say about him, he never put it in my face again about I took that Clark bar. He never did. He still treated me the same because you're learning as you grow up. And my mother also told me, she says, if you get in trouble, I'm not spending a penny to come get you out of jail. I'm not spending a penny. You in there, you do the crime, you're going to serve the time. So that was something she put on my mind. My father told me, he says, always pay your rent before you pay anything else. Because people will give you a place, won't give you a place to stay, but they might give you something to eat. So just keep that in mind. I'm sharing things that my father taught me. My father also taught me never live with a man. If you're not good enough to get married to him, then you shouldn't be living. Live by yourself. You know. My father also felt that, you just didn't have sex unless it was with your husband. So I stayed a virgin until I was 25. Until I just said, oh, this is getting on my nerves. Because then you get called a lesbian and all those kind of things. See, they think we black women are all so cheap and we're just born hot to trot. Maybe a lot of the reasons I stayed a virgin till age 25 was because of the way my mother and my father talked to me. My mother told me she was going to put me out if I ever got pregnant. And I believed her. I really did. So sometimes you got to almost put the scare in your little ladies. And just because maybe you made a mistake, Mom, you don't want a 9-year-old daughter pregnant with an 18-year-old grandmother and a 27-year-old great-grandmother. Those are realities today, ladies, whether you know it or not. You can't get so hot that you don't have your birth control on 100. You can't be so hot that you don't know that this man has laid with so many other women. He's probably laid with men. And then you go in there raw with him. And then you come up with HIV, AIDS, chlamydia, herpes. I mean, are you crazy? When you bring a guy home from the club and you leave him with your children, he beats your kids to death? Ladies, I know you can do better than that. I'm sick of all this stuff I'm reading in the paper. And then when they cut your welfare and stuff like that, then you're upset. Never been on welfare in my life. Never got unemployment in my life. I consider that a blessing for God. But I also took responsibility for myself. And when I say I made $17 the most, I worked on a job that paid double time and triple time. So I was able to pull that $17 up to $34 and sometimes almost over $50 an hour. But that was just what I did. And I could be richer if I didn't give away so much. I do give away my excess when I was young because that's the way I was taught. My father said, take care of your basic expenses and then try to help somebody. Try to help somebody that's not in your family. Try to help somebody just on the street. I have passed by and put $10 in a guy on the street that was begging. I can't do it to everybody, but I've done it. I bought shoes for people. I mean, you're not supposed to brag about what you did, but I've done some really nice things that I'm proud of for people. So that's why I have less money, but I don't care. Because I'm going to tell you, the God that sits high and looks low, he knows what you're doing. So just always keep your mind on doing something good for other people. When you do something good for other people, you don't have time to sit around and worry about what's happening with yourself. You're too busy worrying about what you're going to do. What can I do to make this person nice? And if you're poor, you can stop being poor. Just if you can't find a job, find something you like and have a job for yourself. Now, I don't like to stay on here too long, but all I have to say is Get together, make a job yourself. Stop backstabbing and talking about your girlfriends. Take that energy and use it to put your head in a book. And like I say, I'm getting so many emails asking me, what should I do about this? What should I do about this? I told you, and I'm willing to give you the book. Don't sweat the small stuff. It's all small stuff. Okay, have a good day.